Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to Joy Burns Arena for today's Big Mountain Hockey Conference matchup between the home Denver Pioneers and the visitors from Metro State University. While today's matchup should be a great rivalry game between two of the conference's best, this afternoon is a special occasion for these two teams as the Pios and the Roadrunners will be teaming up in a fight against a common enemy. Today, the DU Men's Club Hockey team is excited to be hosting a Hockey Fights Cancer charity game in partnership with the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund to raise awareness and funds for life-changing cancer research and treatment. Earlier this year, the DU Men's Club Hockey team received news that no team ever wants to hear. Their captain and teammate Blake Bazin was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. Speaking with the team this week, they emphasized Blake's strength, leadership, and character have always defined him both on and off the ice. And with Blake's approval, the team came together to do something bigger than hockey. And we here at Price Productions with the DU Men's Club Hockey team are incredibly excited to share that Blake has completed treatment and as of this past weekend is officially cancer-free. The team speaking with us this week emphasized the mission with the support and of the University of Denver, our families, friends, alumni, and the broader community. This charity game came together with one clear goal: to make an impact in the fight against cancer. As the DU Men's Club Hockey team takes the ice today against MSU Denver, they're skating not just to compete, but to raise awareness, inspire hope, and support everyone affected by this disease. All donations from today's event will go directly to the Jimmy Fund and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, organizations leading the way in groundbreaking cancer research and world-class patient care. The team has set a fundraising goal of $10,000, and support from viewers like you at home will help make stories like Blake's possible. If you are at home or if you're in the building watching on your phone and you want to learn how you can help support this great cause, you could donate at any time by visiting the donation link you see on your screen right now. Scan the QR code displayed on the screen. In addition to the donations, a silent auction is underway for a 2025-26 Colorado Avalanche team signed jersey featuring signatures from more than 22 players, including Nathan McKinnon and Gabriel Landeskog, along with a letter of authenticity from Kroenke Sports Charities and the Avalanche. Throughout the game, we will have this QR code popping up intermittently as well as during the intermission, so if you don't see it now or you miss your opportunity, don't worry. We will be flashing this QR code throughout the game to help the team reach their $10,000 goal. Packed, sold-out house here at Joy Burns Arena, standing room only for this one. The first game of the season in which DU has sold tickets for this charity game, and people have turned out to not only support DU's men's hockey or MSU's men's hockey, but Blake Bazin in this fight against cancer. We do have a hockey game, folks, that we do need to talk about. It's Denver, it's Metro State, one of the biggest and best rivalries in this conference, as well as the entirety of the ACHA. Two schools separated by just 10 miles. But right now on that standings list, it feels more like 100 miles between DU and Metro State. The Pioneers, after their Big Mountain Classic stretch, up now to 9th in the West rankings. They are still 2nd in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference standings. On the other side for Metro State, they went just 1-3 in their Big Mountain Classic campaign. However, they played last night against Wyoming, bringing home a big 9-4 victory. The first time these two teams met in this season, October 24th at the Promenade. DU took care of business there, defeating the Roadrunners 4-1. They will play the second time today, and then tomorrow they will finish out the regular season in Westminster, a home game for Metro State. You can catch that action on Price Productions' YouTube channel. We have a good one for you here, folks, this afternoon. Keep donating, keep watching. It's DU, it's Metro State. It's what you want to watch on a Saturday afternoon, and it's coming up next. Let's send it down to center ice for pregame festivities, including the introduction to the players and the national anthem. Anthems have been sung, players have been introduced, and let's get ready for Saturday afternoon hockey from the campus of the University of Denver. It's DU Metro State coming up next. I'm Ben Canvasser for Price Productions. We are so happy to have everybody here joining us live for what has been an emotional pregame, to say the least. Round of applause coming from both sides as Blake Bazin was introduced. He'll be starting at center today for the Pioneers. While we have a couple of seconds before we drop the puck, let's take a look at today's starting goaltenders. First in net for the Roadrunners, as you heard, Patrick Loeffler coming into this game, 5'10", from Otsego, Minnesota, a 4-12 record, but don't let that deceive you, because he's got a goals allowed average of 3.62 and a save percentage of over .9. Very rare for a goalie with a record like Loeffler. So he will be key today for Metro State if they look to pull off the upset over DU. In net for the Pioneers, I don't even have to say his name because you already know who I'm going to say. It's number one. It's Jackson Karlitz. It's the president of this team and the leader between the pipes for the Pioneers. 10-8-2 record on the season, 3.4 goals allowed average with a .95 save percentage. He's been stellar. He got the day off for the Pios last time out in a 12-1 victory over Bowling Green. He's back in net now. Starting lineup for your Pioneers: Bazin in the middle, Seebeck and Patrick, Chang Walker and Moen in the blue line, and we are underway from Joy Burns Arena, a sold-out, standing room only Joy Burns Arena, as Patrick looks to win the draw, or looks to win the race to the puck in the Roadrunners' end. Played back out into the neutral zone. Comes loose to Seebeck, spinning with it, gets it to Bazin, slides it back behind the net for Patrick. Patrick cycles it back to Bazin. Driven hard into the boards there by one of the defenders for Metro State. Comes back out to the blue line. There's a wrist shot by Moen. Puck loose in front of the net, and now will be cleared back out by number 16, Hank Cash, one of the starters for Metro State. Bjorndal will play it back into the end. Loeffler will have to come out of his net to play it. Comes into the corner for Triplett. He'll fire it back across the net. It'll come back out to the neutral zone, where it'll be played by Gardner. Gardner slides it over to Navarro. Back up ahead for Triplett, trying to play it back into the zone. Back the other way comes Labuglio. He'll play it in. Chasing it after it is McLeod. Far side corner for Jackson Tillinghast. Back to the blue line, kept in by Metro State. There's a shot and an easy glove save there by Jackson Karlitz. Player to watch here for Metro State, it has to be number 8, Jackson Tillinghast, the 2024-25 Player of the Year in this conference. He leads Metro State with 11 goals on the season so far. And you got to look for him anytime you see number 8 out there on the ice, as that shot sails high and over the netting. So we'll have another stoppage in play. Just taking a look at the previous schedule here for Metro State. Both these teams participated in the Big Mountain Classic, but no team had a harder 4-game schedule than the Roadrunners, playing Cal Berkeley, Northeastern, UMass, and Grand Canyon for the better teams in the country, as Karlitz makes a diving save there at the very last second. Puck comes out to the blue line, kept in by Tafoya. Wrist shot, saved again by Karlitz. Now it's taken by Chang Walker. Behind the net, playing it up for Colston Bazin. Shot back into the zone, taken by Chang Walker. Played up ahead for Colston Bazin, looking to spring Ryan Simon. Here's Simon with the puck. Walking to the zone, plays it towards the slot, looking for Mirovic, and he kicks it to himself into the near side corner. Comes back to the blue line, kept in by Moen. Slid over for Chang Walker. Wrist shot doesn't get through. Colston Bazin looking to cycle it back around the corner. Nobody there in white, so Labuglio will play into the neutral zone. Taken up ahead here by Tristan McLeod. McLeod knifing his way towards the front of the net, taken off by Chang Walker, but we're going to get a penalty upcoming here for a hook. So the Roadrunners, 17:54 remaining in the first period, will go on the man advantage here, as they're going to get 65, Chang Walker with a hook. So we'll get our first opportunity to see this power play unit for the Roadrunners and the penalty killing unit for DU. Seebeck out there with Angus Kincaid. Back at the blue line, Griffin Young making his first appearance in this game, and he will be played with Zach Ben. Officials in the box are going to motion over for the referees, as we have a clock issue here. They're unable to get the 2 minutes on the penalty time. Now they do. They also have a minute and a half on there, so we'll have to fix that. While we do, let's take a look at Denver's last 4 games out. They played 4 games in that Big Mountain Classic, 2 wins against lesser opponents, Dakota College at Bottineau and Bowling Green as we get a stoppage of play as nobody on the ice can find the puck. And I believe it floated into the back there of Seebeck, so we'll redo that draw. 2 tough losses at home against Northeastern and Utah as that puck sails out of play. So once again, we'll get a 3rd consecutive face-off to the left side of Carlitz. Last time out, however, a 12-1 win against Bowling Green. I'd give you who scored the goals for DU, but we only have 17:49 remaining in the first period, and I don't know if I'll be able to call the game if I give you all the names of the guys who scored. Let's just say it was a lot. It was a really dominant performance by this DU offense that had sputtered in the previous 2 games, obviously going up against a team like Bowling Green, who was really struggling in the Big Mountain Classic and in this season so far. Puck comes back out of the blue line, kept in by Tillinghast. Takes a deflection off of somebody on the DU bench, so we'll get a stoppage of play. Just 20 seconds gone in this man advantage on the hooking penalty to Kiefer Changwalker. So the power play unit out there for Metro State. McLeod will dig in to take the draw against Angus Kincaid. Face-off one back to the blue line, taken by Tillinghast. Taken near side by Clift. He fires a wrist shot, and they score! Metro State power play goal. 2.5 minutes into this contest, and the Roadrunners lead early here. So on the deflection in front of the goal, Carlitz couldn't see it. And it's the Metro State Roadrunners who lead here 1-0 early on. Goal credited to number 4, Brendan Piper. So DU reeling now, down 1-0 in this game as Loeffler plays the puck behind his own net. Kept in by Gardner at the blue line. Played out to the neutral zone. It's going to be a race for the icing. Navarro's going to win it. So the play will come all the way back into the Metro State end. Pretty harmless play from the blue line as Cliff fired a lofted shot, took a deflection in front of the net, and Piper was there to knock it down and bury the first goal of the game. So let's see how DU responds. Bazin, Patrick, and Seebeck line out there on offense. Navarro and Gardner on the blue line. Draw one by DU. Comes back to the blue line, taken by Gardner. He'll fire it back in for Blake Bazin behind the net. Bazin trying to get the puck free. Comes to Seebeck. He's driven into the boards there by Brandhorst. Patrick fires it back into the zone. He's driven hard into the boards there by Ethan Rose. Kept in by DU. Seebeck, far side for Navarro. Navarro's got it now, and he'll flip it high into the air over the net. Puck will come free back to Metro State. There's a big hit laid by Blake Bazin, and that puck will go back into the DUN for an icing here. 16:33 remaining in the first period. Only 3:27 gone in this contest. Feels like it's taken an hour and a half. A lot of stoppages of play. We had the penalty to Changwalker and the goal to Metro State. A little bit of a choppy start here for both these teams. Metro State doing well, though, to capitalize on the man advantage. Draw one by DU. Colston Bazin plays it behind the net for Willem Van Arn, the leading goal scorer for this DU squad with 12 goals on the season. Back to the blue line. There's a shot that's loose from the point, and now there's going to be a penalty upcoming here going against Metro State. So just like that, a relatively harmless shot from the blue line by Garrett Vena. Surprising Loeffler. And now Metro State will be a man down here for 2 minutes, as serving the penalty there will be number 11, Colton Gorsuch. So power play opportunity here for DU. Face-off coming to the left side of Loeffler. Draw one by the Pioneers, back to the blue line for Moen. Mirovic, far side corner. Walking in, looking far side for Van Arn, but Van Arn put on the brakes a little too soon there. Back to the blue line, Moen, slap shot, deflected into the far side corner. Back to Mirovic. Throws it back to Colston Bazin. Back to 32 and White. Far side, surveying his options, looking to play in the slot for Bazin. Puck doesn't get out of the zone, kept in by Moen. He'll fire a wrist shot, takes a deflection in front of the net, and redirects into that far side corner. And now the puck will be played back into the neutral zone. Van Arn can't glove it down. It'll come all the way back to Carlitz. 1:20 remaining in the man advantage. Van Arn, far side for Bazin. Bazin nearly taken off the puck, and now he is. Kept in by Mirovic. Back to the blue line for Moen. Slides it over for Van Arm. Rink-wide pass, bouncing puck. Mirovic can't settle it down. Plays it back to the blue line, but the pass too far. So Moen will retreat into the neutral zone and dump it back in. Mirovic going to chase after it. Comes back to the blue line and sent back into the DU zone. Here's Cody Bjorndal with it now. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. To Moen. Slides it over for Seebeck. Henry Seebeck has the puck now, plays it along the near side boards, just too far for Bjorndal, and it'll go back into the DU zone. Really, really good job here by this MSU penalty killing unit. DU with only one shot in this power play so far. Far side Simon. Check that, it was Changwalker throwing on the brakes. Has the puck now, plays it back towards the blue line, taken by Patrick. Over to Seebeck. Near side boards for Bjorndal. Back to Seebeck at the blue line. Far side, there's a quick shot by Patrick. Doesn't get a lot on it, and Loeffler makes an easy save there. 9 seconds remaining in the man advantage. So good puck movement there by DU. Shot just coming off a little too weak there to test Loeffler, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. 4-12 on the season, but don't let that record fool you. Just 3.62 goals allowed with a .912 save percentage. This is a Metro State team that doesn't give up a ton of goals. So after the quick shot save by Loeffler, faceoff coming back to his left side. And the faceoff won by Metro State. Fired back around the net by Frick. Kept in at the blue line by Garner. And that's going to do it for the man advance for DU as Metro State has killed off the power play. Puck still in the Roadrunner zone. Taken by Brophy. He loses his stick there. No call made on the ice. And now back the other way come the Roadrunners. It's brought in by 71. Thrown around the net. Back in the slot. There's a slap shot and a save by Carlitz. Puck still loose. It's bouncing in the slot there, and now it's taken back by Navarro. Sent back into the Roadrunners' end. Loeffler will play it behind his own net. Far side corner. Now looking to play it up. It comes here to Labuglio along the near side boards. Walking his way into the zone. In the slot, fires a shot. Saved by Carlitz. Stoppage of play. 13:33 remaining in this first period. 1-0 the score in this contest. The goal by Braden Piper. The difference here early on. Metro State doing a really good job in the neutral zone right now, limiting the opportunities for DU, who have really been able to, or unable to set up their own opportunities in the Metro State end. Face-off won by the Roadrunners. Comes back to the blue line, taken by 20, Tomlin. Now sent back into the DU zone. Played far side for Mirovic, now near side boards for Simon. Simon looking to play into the slot for Colson Bazin. And Simon entered the zone, played it back behind the blue line. Offsides is the call. With 13:17 remaining in the first of the faceoff, will be coming along the near side boards just outside the Roadrunners' end. Faceoff won by Metro State, taken by Ethan Rose. Brings the puck into the zone. There's a shot, sails high and out of play by Peterson. So the faceoff, given it was a deflection, will stay in the DU zone, and it'll be coming up to the left side of Carlitz. So face off to the left side of Carlitz. Digging in to take the draw is Jackson Brandhorst for Metro State. We have an infraction here, so Brandhorst will get the boot. And we'll see who will step in to take the draw for him. It's Ethan Rose. Rose didn't want it. He'll pass it off to Peterson. Face off won by the Roadrunners. Now it comes loose to Mirovic. He'll play it high into the air, back into the Roadrunners zone. Played into the far side corner. Tilling has the first one on the puck. Puck still loose in the Metro State end. There's a quick shot. Loeffler didn't see it to the last second, able to make the save. Puck thrown in the slot, nobody there in white. So back the other way comes Metro State. Far side pass. Played there by Piper. Changwalker trying to bring it out of the zone. He's laid in too hard there by Peterson. Comes back to Changwalker. Chopped at by Peterson. Sent back in by Piper. Couple of big hits along the Metro State blue line. Here's Chang Walker along the near side boards. We'll play it back to Moen. Moen trying to make somebody miss in the neutral zone there, spinning, and now he'll dump it back into the Metro State end. Not too deep as the puck comes to Piper. Piper looking to play into the neutral zone. Comes free, taken in by Cliff. He's hit once into the corner by Zach Ben. Now it's Van Arm for DU. Plays it along the near side board, looking to spring Bjorndal. Here's a good pass, Cody Bjorndal in on goal. And the save made by Loeffler, puck still loose. And there's a late hit thrown. The officials never really blew the whistle, so unsure as what the stoppage of play is. But regardless, we do have a stoppage of play with 11:54 remaining in the first period. Loeffler doing well there to rob Bjorndal. So the faceoff will come to the left side of Loeffler in the Metro State zone. Really, really great pass there by Willem Van Arem to spring Bjorndal free. Bjorndal doing a good job there of staying on sides. But Loeffler, phenomenal here early in this first period. Draw one by DU, shot from the blue line by Young, goes wide. Seebeck the first one to the corner to win the puck. Metro State can't clear. Kept in by Blake Bazin. In the corner for Seebeck. Seebeck has it now, playing into the blue line for Young. Young walks in, fires a shot, goes wide of the net. Patrick's shot goes wide again, back to the blue line for Griffin Young. He'll play it around the boards for Patrick. Patrick has it, cycles it back for Bazin. Bazin taking off the puck there in the near side corner by Frick. Back to the blue line for Ben. Slides it over for Young. Top of the circle, fires a shot, puck goes wide. And the puck will retreat all the way back to the neutral zone, taken by Ben. Fires it over for Young, far side boards. Young will launch it back into the Metro State end where Loeffler will play it behind his own net. Near side boards here for Frick. Plays into the middle for McLeod. McLeod looking far side, LaBuglio. LaBuglio plays it towards the slot for Tillinghast. His shot goes wide. Played into the neutral zone, taken by Rowan Anand. Anand will dump it in and then go chase after it. Loeffler will play it behind his net. Far side corner for McLeod. McLeod looking to play into the neutral zone. That puck will go all the way back into the DU zone, no icing. LaBuglio, Tillinghast. Back to the blue line, kept in there. There's a shot from the point that goes wide. Now it's taken by Tillinghast again. Another shot redirected into the near side corner by Carlos. Ben will fire it out of the zone. Taken by Anand. Turn back over. Tillinghast has it now. He plays with it in front of his own net. The last thing you want to do in the game of hockey. Play back out into the neutral zone. Taken by Chang Walker. Slides it over for Moen. Plays it up ahead for Kincaid. No offsides there as Brophy goes after it. Big hit laid there by Chris Brophy in front of the student section. Here's a full-length pass taken by Metro State. Here's McLeod with it. Putting on the brakes. Hit by Brophy again. Puck comes free to Brophy. He'll fire it. Glove down at the blue line. There's a shot. Takes a deflection. Now back to number 13, Ethan Rose. Back behind the net. Taken by Brandhorst. Driven hard into the boards there by Chang Walker. Puck finally squirts free to Gardner. Looking to play it far side. Once again kept in by Rose. Metro State doing a great job here on the forecheck. Comes out to Brophy. Rose has it now, near side corner. Comes back to the blue line for Piper. Walks in, fires a wrist shot, takes a deflection, doesn't get through. And now Simon's finally able to clear it back into the Metro State zone with 9 minutes remaining in this first period. Piper the goal scorer for Metro State. The difference in this one, 1-0 Roadrunners. They look to make it 2 here, but here's a good play by Gardner to step in front of that attack. Here comes Gardner. Looking to play into the zone. He has it now. Far side, fires a shot. Easy save by Loeffler as 2 guys go crashing into the near side boards. It's Gardner who's down on the ice right now and in a deal of pain. I believe he is looking over to that DU bench calling for the trainer. So the trainer comes out. We're going to be taking a look at Jack Gardner in the near side corner, who's still down on the ice. He looked up for a second to the bench to motion for the trainer to come out. While we have a second here, we do want to remind everybody that this is a charity game benefiting Hockey Fights Cancer. All the proceeds from today's game will be donated to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund to raise awareness and funds for life-changing cancer research and treatment, as Gardner is up to his feet now. Take a look at the screen right now. You'll see that QR code. Click it. Donate to help this team, this organization, hit their $10,000 donation mark for this game. Gardner able to skate off the ice under his own power. The trainer slowly making her way off the ice as Blake Bazin steps off the bench to help her get back. So the faceoff coming to the right side of Loeffler here. DU trails 1-0, 8:43 remaining in the first period. Mirlovic to take the draw for DU. One back, there's a shot by Colson. Bazin takes a deflection in front of the net. Puck still loose, kept in by Ben. Walks in, fires the shot, easy pad save by Loeffler. Puck behind the net. Nobody looking like they want to clear it out of there as it's sandwiched up against the net there. Now it finally comes free back to Mirlovic. Plays it back to the blue line, but it's deflected there by 91 for Metro State. Puck played around the far side corner. Vena can't keep it in. He has it again, another opportunity. Plays it down to the corner for Colson Bazin, looking for somebody in the slot. Puck still loose. And now Metro State unable to clear it here. Taken back by Ryan Simon behind the net. Plays in front for Vena, whiffs on the shot. And now the puck will come back to the neutral zone. Here's a potential opportunity for Metro State as Vena does a good job to lay a hit there along the near side boards. Puck still loose in the DU zone, taken by Tillinghast, and there's another big hit laid by Willem Van Arm right off the bench. Labuglio, he's driven hard into the boards there by Van Arm, who's getting some applause here from this DU crowd at Joy Burns Arena. Here's Tillinghast, keep the puck into the zone, but only for a second, as Van Arm is right there to send it back into the neutral zone. Great shift so far here for number 2. Ben plays it towards the middle, looking for Triplett. Pass goes too far, now will be taken by Gorsuch. Played back by Vena. Kept up ahead, here's Bjorndal bringing the puck into the zone. Looking to weave his way in front of the net, he's chopped down by 2 Roadrunners. Back to the blue line, Van Arm slap shot goes wide of the net. Kept in by Chang Walker. Looking to play in towards the slot. He's chopped down hard. There's going to be a penalty upcoming here. This one's going against Metro State again. So DU will go on the man advantage with 7:02 remaining in the first period. It's going to be Colton Gorsuch going to the box to serve a 2-minute minor. There's actually 2 players going to the penalty box for Metro State. Unsure of what the call is. Tristan McLeod looking for some answers here. But I see 2 blue jerseys in that visitors penalty box, so you wonder here if it's going to be a 5-on-3. It's 5. There's 2 players in the box for Metro State. None for DU. So it is going to be a 5-on-3 here for the Pioneers. What an opportunity this would be for DU to get all leveled. 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Face-off won by the Pioneers, taken by Bjorndal along the near side boards. He'll play it back to Patrick, top of the circle. Takes a deflection off of Piper, skates back into the far side circle. Comes back to Patrick at the blue line, slides it over for Chang Walker. Back to Patrick, slap shot, puck still loose in front of the net. Seebeck can't get the shot off, comes back to Patrick. Working against Tillinghast. Comes back to Patrick. Walking in, top of the circle. Can't get the shot off, and now Metro State looking to clear, they can't. Good job there by Bazin. Slide over for Chang Walker. Back to the blue line for Seebeck. Walks in, fires the shot. Easy save there by Loeffler. Nobody in front of the net to cause any trouble there for number 40 in blue. So 123 remaining in the 5-on-3 here for DU. 6:24 remaining in the period. Colston, Bazin, Mirlovic, Ryan Simon, Willem Van Arm, and Tommy Moen out there in white. Face-off controlled by the road runners. And sent back out to the neutral zone where Van Arm will have to retreat to play it. Van Arm to Simon. Plays it back for Moen. Moen will enter the zone. Put on the brakes, plays it back to Simon. Back to Van Arm, top of the circle. Van Arm walks in, fires a shot. Loeffler with an easy save again, although he didn't know where it was for a second. And he's able to cover it up with 1:03 remaining in the 5-on-3 penalty. Face-off coming to the right side of Loeffler. Mirovic taking the draw here for the Pioneers. Face-off won by DU. Comes back to Van Arm. Plays it near side boards for Colson Bazin. Back to Van Arm. Top of the circle. Simon in the corner. Back to Van Arm. Over to Simon. Walks in, fires a shot. Saved there by Loeffler. Back to Moen. Over to Simon. Top of the circle, Van Arm. His shot sails high and over the net. 35 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Comes over to Van Arm. Spinning with it. Top of the circle. Far side. Takes a deflection behind the net. Taken by Mirovic. 25 seconds remaining. Here's Colson Bazin. Bazin, top of the circle. Fires a shot. And there's a great deflection there by Tillinghast as the puck is sent back into the DU zone with 14 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. What a penalty-killing job in this opening period by this Roadrunner team. Here's Anand, walks in, plays it towards the slot, stolen back by Piper, and sent back into the DU zone. No icing there. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Ben floats it into the neutral zone. Taken back into the Metro State end. Fired back into the DU zone. This is going to be an icing here. 4:44 remaining here in this 1-0 first period. The goal by Brandon Piper. The difference early on here in this contest. When you play a team like Metro State, you never really know what you're going to get. This team having a relatively down year for their program standards. They still have a win in the last week over Cal Berkeley, the only team on the season to defeat juggernaut Weber State. So this is a Metro State team that is playing some good hockey, especially coming off a 9-4 victory last night over Wyoming. Played up ahead here, taken by Rose. He stood up. Puck played back into the neutral zone. Tomlin will launch it back in. Taken by Peterson behind the net. Two Metro State players go crashing into one DU player. Puck still loose, and now Kincaid will play behind the net for Young. Young tosses it into the neutral zone. Gorsuch has it. He'll play it back into the DU end. Carlitz will play it behind his net. Now it'll be taken by Griffin Young. 4 minutes remaining here in this first period. Seebeck in the middle for Kincaid. Kincaid walks in, takes it along the near side boards, plays it back to the blue line, takes a deflection, so back in that near side corner. Now played up by Metro State. Puck thrown in the slot for McLeod. He can't hold on to it, so Navarro will send it back into the Roadrunners end. Played by Loeffler behind his own net. Flipped up ahead to the neutral zone, taken by Gardner. Far side for Blake Bazin. Bazin, top of the circle, wrist shot, saved by Loeffler with 3:27 remaining in the first period. We mentioned here at the top of the broadcast, this is the first game of the season where DU has sold tickets in order to help raise money for both the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund, and the community has showed out for this contest. A lot of Metro State fans here, but a lot of maroon and gold also in attendance. Not a single seat available in this building. Standing room only right now at Joy Burns Arena. McLeod goes crashing into the boards along the near side boards here in the DU end. Played up ahead for Gardner. Back on the ice after suffering a scary looking fall there early in this first period. Played up ahead for Labuglio. Looking for Tillinghast, glove down here by Nolan Patrick. Patrick has Blake Bazin with him. Patrick's shot sails wide of the net. And now will be taken back by Piper. Trying to get it out, kept in there by Gardner. Turning back with it is Blake Bazin. It's a race to the puck. Bazin wins it, dealing with Frick. There's a big hit late in the Metro State zone. Bjorndal on Tillinghast. Gardner looking to flip it up ahead for Bjorndal, just too far, so Piper will play it behind his net. Stolen back by Bjorndal. He's held there by Piper. No call. Comes back near side boards for Gardner, spinning with it. Plays it back to the blue line. Van Arm will fire a wrist shot. Glove save there by Loeffler. Redirected into the far side corner. Taken behind the net by Bjorndal. Stolen back by Piper. He's driven hard into the boards there by two. Willem Van Arm. 3 big hits in this period. Triplet looking towards the slot for Van Arm, who's taken off the puck, and now back the other way comes 28 Brandhorst. Driving towards the front of the net. There's a good save there by Karlitz. Van Arm will play it up ahead. Spinning with it, plays it back to Gardner. Gardner looking back towards the DU bench. Van Arm was going off for a change. Back the other way comes the Roadrunners. Comes back to the blue line. There's a wrist shot that sails high and over the net. Navarro can't get the puck out of the zone. Turn back over. Here's Metro State. There's the shot. Missing the mark there. Taken by Triplet. 1:20 remaining here in this first period. Near side boards, Mirovic. Flips it back into the Metro State end. And it will go down for an icing with 1:12 remaining in the first period. Momentum beginning to swing just a little bit in favor of the Pioneers, who still trail in this one 1-0 on the goal from Brandon Piper. Big 6'6" defenseman from Parker, Colorado, who gave the Roadrunners a 1-0 lead on the power play early in this contest. Haven't called Jackson Karlitz's name in a couple of minutes, as the goaltender from DU not really having to make a lot of saves here in the latter half of this first period. We'll see how that goes now. 1 minute remaining here in the first period. Taken by Moen. Puck comes free. There's a shot from the blue line. That's saved by Karlitz. Back behind the net. Taken there by Tillinghast. Rose looking to play it. Chopped down there is Moen. Here's Tillinghast. Weaving his way around DU defenders. Fires a shot from the red line. Saved by Karlitz. Puck still loose in front of the net. DU can't clear it. And now it finally comes free to Changwalker. Changwalker plays it along the near side boards for Simon. Simon walks in. Fires a shot and redirected nearly out of the building. Hitting the roof here at Joy Burns Arena. So we'll have a stoppage of play with 22 seconds remaining as the faceoff will remain in the Metro State end. Faceoff coming to the right side of Loeffler. Blake Bazin in there to take the draw for DU. Faceoff won by the Roadrunners back towards the net of Loeffler, who will not play with the puck and just will cover it up here with 20 seconds remaining in the first. Don't want to take risks now here, especially with only 20 seconds in the first period. Metro State, how big it would be to go into the first intermission with a 1-goal lead over this DU team. Puck thrown towards the front of the net, still loose, 15 seconds remaining. Seebeck behind the Metro State end. Bazin turns, fires. Saved by Loeffler. Redirected near side corner, 7 seconds remaining. And we get a stoppage of play here, as I believe the net came loose. Check that. I believe there might be an equipment issue here for Loeffler, who just had to be assisted over to the Roadrunners end. He's now standing along that Metro State end, and I believe there's going to be, oh, I could see what happened. The skate blade of Loeffler fell off. So they're going to have to repair that with 4 seconds remaining in the first period. Folks, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, during the intermission report, we will be flashing that QR code. That is your ticket to donate in this Hockey Fights Cancer game. All proceeds will benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund in support of DU's captain, number 18, Blake Bazin, who takes the draw here for the Pioneers. Face-off won by DU. 1 second remaining, and that's going to do it here for the first period. Metro State 1, DU nothing. Both teams will skate to their locker rooms. We'll have an intermission we will have an intermission here. When we return, second period of action from Joy Burns Arena. It's the Roadrunners on top, 1-0. Welcome back to a sold-out Joy Burns Arena on the campus of the University of Denver here in the Mile High City. It's rivalry game day between the Pioneers and the Roadrunners, and after one, the Roadrunners lead DU 1-0 here. About a minute and 40 seconds remaining until we get back to the action here. Before we do so, you saw the QR code there on the screen during the first intermission. We do want to mention once again that this is a hockey fights cancer game between the Pioneers and the Roadrunners. Both teams obviously rivals in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference, but today they come together to fight a common enemy. All proceeds from today's game will be donated to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund to raise awareness and funds for the life-changing cancer research treatment, the same cancer research treatment that DU captain Blake Bazin went through earlier this year when he was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. The team found out this past week that Bazin was indeed cancer-free. Great news for everybody in this DU community. Bazin's been out there a couple of times tonight, really putting in a great effort as he's been doing the entire season for the Pioneers. So once again, you see that QR code on your screen. Donate here. The goal for today's game is to raise $10,000, and a big step towards that was the ticket sales and revenue generated by this game. You look around this Joy Burns Arena, there's not a single open seat. Student section filled to the brim. We have parents standing. We have spectators standing. It is standing room only at Joy Burns Arena today to watch these two great teams go at it for just the second time this season. First game of this series went to the Pioneers back in October 24th. Final score there, 4-1. And you wondered coming into this game, Metro State playing the second of 3 straight games this weekend. They won last night 9-4 over Wyoming. You had to wonder how their legs were going to feel coming into this game against a DU team that hasn't played since last Sunday night when they beat Bowling Green by the final score of 12-1. It's been all Roadrunners in this first period. DU's gotten a couple of good scoring chances. Patrick Loeffler's been phenomenal in net for the Roadrunners. We are just waiting right now for the teams to get back onto the ice. The coaching staffs are making their way back to the benches. We are also waiting for the officials to get back onto the ice to get the nets situated here for the second period of action. Both these teams will be playing each other again tomorrow in Westminster to finish out this regular season. 2 weeks away from conference tournament week here in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference. DU right now second ranked in the conference. They will have a home playoff game along with Colorado, who will also have a home playoff game. Those games will be taking place the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and you can catch all of the Big Mountain Hockey Conference playoff action on Price Productions. Officials have made their way back onto the ice. They are getting the nets back on their moorings. Teams are still in the tunnel waiting to get back out onto the ice. We will step aside for 30 to 40 seconds until the teams are ready to go. You are watching a presentation of the Big Mountain Hockey Conference on Price Productions. So the teams have made their way back onto the ice. We saw right in front of us Chris Brophy going knee to knee with one of the Metro State players, very inadvertent. Both players were checking in on each other there as Brophy was slow to get his feet back after taking that hit. He's now back on the bench for DU. One of the interesting things is both teams are coming out of their tunnels doing warm-ups. Metro State was doing warm-ups here to our right, DU to our left. So Metro State was skating around their own end as DU was coming out of the zone, hence the collision there. Set to begin second period of action. It's DU, it's Metro State. It is 1-0 Roadrunners, and we are underway here in the second period from Joy Burns Arena. Puck comes back to Chang Walker. Starting unit back out there for DU. Bazin, Seebeck, and Patrick up there on attack. As the puck comes back here to 28, Brandhorst. Taken up ahead by Zach Jensen. And Metro State drifting there offside, so we'll get a stoppage of play 21 seconds into this second period. Loeffler rock solid in this contest to begin the game. DU's thrown a couple of shots his way, nothing really too challenging. Pioneers have to do a better job in this second period of getting bodies in front of Loeffler to make things a little bit difficult. He's been able to see every shot so far from the blue line and has been up to the task every single time. Puck thrown there towards the slot. Taken away by Clift. Metro State player goes tumbling down to the ice. No call there as Loeffler redirects it here into the near side boards. Kept in there by Chang Walker. Loeffler can't hold on to the rebound. Comes back to Moen. Fires a wrist shot. Deflected in front of the net. Puck still loose. It comes back to Blake Bazin. Cycles it back behind the net for Patrick. Looking towards the slot. Takes a deflection in front of the net. Bazin goes crashing down to the ice trying to get a slap shot off. And it's redirected there into the far side corner. Couple of good early chances here for DU. Looking to tie this game up as they trail 1-0. The goal in the first period by Braden Piper. Comes back to Chang Walker. Now it's taken by Patrick. Chang Walker has it again behind his own net, being hounded by two Metro State players. Puck comes loose into the slot. Spinning shot there by McLeod. Glove down by Karlitz. Comes loose to Tillinghast. Back behind the net there by Labuglio. Labuglio has it again for Metro State, looking to knife his way towards the front of the net, taken off the puck by Patrick. Comes loose to Seebeck. Seebeck walks in, fires the puck into the Roadrunner zone. Play into the corner there by Loeffler. Bjorndal off the bench, plays the puck towards the slot for Van Arm, and there's a good save by Loeffler. 18:09 remaining here in the second period. So DU finding a little life here at the beginning of this second, at the second frame. Pioneers testing Loeffler, but Loeffler doing a good job so far to keep this a one-goal game. Face-off coming to the right side of Loeffler. Draw won by the Pioneers, sent back in by Bjorndal. Van Arm wins the race to the puck, plays it over to Triplett, back to the blue line for Navarro, and the puck just bounces over his stick, so it comes back out to the neutral zone. They battle away for it along the near side boards. Now it finally comes free to Gardner, who sends it back into the Metro State end. First one on the puck there is Tafoya. Back to the blue line, kept in by Navarro, but only for a second as it comes free for McLeod. Looking to spring Tillinghast, and there's a good stick by one of the DU defensemen. Near side boards for Triplett. He's got Bjorndal on the slot. Bjorndal's backhand shot goes wide. Gardner looking to play it right back towards the slot, takes a deflection. Here's Tillinghast. Weaves his way around Mirovic, pays the price by getting hit there by Triplett. One of the officials runs in there to Navarro, so Metro State has the puck in the DU zone, plays it towards the front of the net. Karlitz comes out to make the play on it. Puck loose in the slot, and Metro State can't get the shot off. Played back by DU. Mirovic has Colston Bazin along the near side boards. Puck goes back into the Metro State end, no icing. Puck comes free here for Brandhorst. Walks in, has Rose with him, makes one move. There's a shot. Puck loose in front of the net. They score! Metro State has their second. Karlitz did well there the first time, and I believe we're going to have a penalty upcoming here to Ethan Rose, who had some words for the DU goaltender. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Rose, the goal scorer, is going to go right from the score sheet to the penalty box. As the official was standing right next to Jackson Carlitz, he heard what was said there by Rose. So now DU, after giving up the goal, will go on the man advantage. It was a phenomenal play by Metro State, who've doubled their lead now to 2-0. But DU on the power play here as the puck is played up by Loeffler, kept in by Patrick. Taken by Seebeck. Walks in, looking to play it towards the slot. Loeffler will cover it up here, and there's a cross-check by him from behind there by Margolis. He was going after Bjorndal. No call there. Face-off will be still in the Metro State zone as the officials tend to the netting there. So face-off to the right side of Loeffler. Bazin, Patrick, Seebeck, Bjorndal, Moen out there. Comes back to the blue line for Seebeck. Far side for Patrick. Patrick at the top of the circle, surveying his options, fires a shot wide of the net. Play back to the blue line. There's a good job by Metro State, chipping up ahead. It's Margolis. Margolis in on goal, puts a shot in, crashes into Jackson Carlitz. Tommy Moen has some words for Margolis there. As back the other way comes to you. Here's Patrick. Will slow things down. Plays it towards the slot, looking there for Bjorndal, and Bjorndal can't get the shot off. Moen to Bjorndal. Back to the blue line for Bjorndal. Fires a shot, comes back to Patrick. Patrick looking at his options, patiently surveying. Puck thrown in front of the net. It's still loose. It comes free to Patrick. Plays it back to the blue line for Moen. Slides it over for Seebeck. Seebeck, Moen, slap shot. Glove save there by Loeffler, who will cover it up with 15:30 remaining in the second period. 47 seconds remaining on the penalty assessed to Ethan Rose. So DU patiently waiting for opportunities for scoring lanes to open up, and Metro State, who's done a great job this entire game so far on the penalty kill, doing a good job here. Draw one by DU. Simon's got it behind the net. Mirovic, near side boards. Back to Simon. Over to Mirovic. Throws one towards the slot, and the shot from Bazin saved by Loeffler. Spinning shot thrown in front of the net. Puck still loose in the slot. Loeffler on the ground. And now finally chipped up ahead, back to the blue line. Chang Walker slides it over for Moen. Far side Simon. He fires a shot. Another save. Puck loose in front of the net. They scramble for it, and DU can't get a goal. Here's Van Arum. He'll fire a wrist shot. Puck loose in front of the net. Another great save by Loeffler. It's pandemonium in front of this Roadrunners bench. There's a great block shot by Metro State. And that's going to do it for the man advantage. Puck comes free to Van Arum, spinning behind the back pass for Chang Walker, too far. Unbelievable plays there by Patrick Loeffler. Still a 2-0 game. Comes back to the blue line. Van Arum throws a puck in front of the net. Redirected wide of the net, and it'll come back out to the neutral zone where Chang Walker will retreat to grab it. Simon to Gardner. Looking to spring Colson Bazin. Gardner again. Bazin loses it back to McLeod. Taken again by Gardner. Walking the blue line, plays into the zone, fires a slap shot, redirected high and out of play. Stoppage with 4:03 remaining in the second period with an offensive zone faceoff upcoming here for the Pioneers. So a couple of really good chances there for DU, but an unbelievable job in the slot by this Metro State defense, allowing 0 second chance opportunities. Loeffler unable to hold on to the puck a couple of times there, and Metro State doing a great job of clearing those loose pucks in front of the net back into the corners. Face off to the right side of Loeffler. Comes free to the blue line. Navarro will have to play it back into the Metro State end. DU will have to tag up. Loeffler behind his net. Brophy plays it into the neutral zone, slid over for Navarro. He'll play it back into the Metro State. He's driven hard into the board there by the captain for this Metro State team, Tristan McLeod. Puck comes free for the Roadrunners, taken by Tillinghast. Tillinghast with McLeod. Fires one behind the net. Race to the puck, chopped up by Anand. Sent back in by McLeod. Rowan Anand hooked, played it into blue line, kept in by Metro State. Now the Roadrunners will retreat. Labuglio plays it up ahead for Tillinghast. Tillinghast has it. He's chopped down to the ice. Four guys battling for the puck. Now a fifth jumps in. It's Anand who looks to throw it towards the middle of the ice. Now it's taken by Brophy. Brophy waiting for reinforcements to arrive, doing a good job of holding onto the puck. He was being held there the whole time. No call there. Glove down by Kincaid. He's driven hard into the boards. And we'll get a stoppage of play here with a hand pass with 12:53 remaining in the second period. Second period so far, you can say dominated by DU. The goal by Ethan Rose extending the lead, however, for the Roadrunners, who have really done a good job in this game of capitalizing on DU's mistakes. The Pioneers have not done the same on the other side of the ice. You can say that's been the difference in this game so far. Now it's taken by Ben. He trips over the imaginary stick there at the red line. Now it comes free for Metro State. Puck thrown in front of the net. Now it's taken by 17 for the Roadrunners. Thrown in the slot. There's a slap shot that's blocked by Griffin Young. Bazin plays it around the far side boards for Patrick. Patrick looking to chip it up ahead, but it's kept in by Metro State. Comes free to Ben, who will dump it back into the Roadrunners' end. Loeffler will play behind his net to Piper. Played back towards the slot. Taken up here by Margolis. And he's driven hard into the boards there by Nolan Patrick right in front of the official. Back out to the neutral zone, sent back into the DU zone. Delayed offsides here, so Metro State will have to tag up. Taken by Chang Walker with a lot of speed. He loses it back. Taken by Bazin right in front of us. Far side for Seebeck. Seebeck sends the puck back into the Roadrunner zone, but it's a turnover. Metro State could break out. It's Ethan Rose, walks in, plays it towards the slot. Here's an opportunity. There's a shot. Just misses the net there. Here comes Blake Bazin. In the zone. Makes one man miss, two men miss. Fires a shot. Misses the net there, and now it comes free for Piper. He's taken off the puck by Bjorndal. Walks in, fires a shot. Redirected high and out of play over the protective netting. Over the DU National Champions banners to our right. And the faceoff will remain in the Roadrunner zone with 11:20 remaining in the second period. Triplett, Van Arum, and Bjorndal out there on offense for DU. Moen and Chang Walker at the blue line. Here's Van Arum. Plays it back to the blue line for Moen. Throws one towards the front of the net. Van Arum couldn't get there in time to get the rebound. Here's Van Arum looking to play it towards the slot. Puck loose in front of the net. Play back to the blue line. Chopped up ahead and now back the other way. It's a foot race. Won by Chang Walker. But here's another opportunity for Metro State, and we're going to get a stoppage of play here, as I believe we're going to get a penalty going against the Pioneers. It's Van Arum who's going to be caught with the slash behind the play. So Metro State, already leading this game 2-0, will go on the man advantage with 11:01 remaining in the second period. So the faceoff coming to the right side of Carlitz. Metro State 1 for 2 in this game on the man advantage. Faceoff won by the Pioneers. Sent back to the blue line, kept in by Tillinghast. Around the net for Piper. Plays it back to McLeod. McLeod able to keep it in the DU zone. Plays it back for Piper, looking for somebody in the slot. Back to McLeod, top of the blue line. Sends it back, Tillinghast. His shot takes a deflection in front of the net. And now DU trying to get the puck out of their own zone, and Griffin Young successful there as they'll send it back into the Roadrunners' end. 1:30 remaining here in the second period. Here comes Jackson Tillinghast, the leading goal scorer for the Metro State Roadrunners. 11 goals on the season. Brings the puck into the zone, takes it behind the net. Fires it over for McLeod. Plays it back behind the net for Piper. Clift. Tillinghast. Back to Clift. Walks in. Slides it back for Tillinghast. Fires a wrist shot. Takes a deflection in front of the net. Puck still loose. Piper tries a backhand. Saved by Carlitz. Pipe will retreat. Plays it back. Tillinghast slap shot. Blocked there by Anand. Kept in by Clift. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Anand taking down Clift. No call there. Metro State fans wanted one. Here's Clift. Fires the shot and saved by Carlitz with 43 seconds remaining in the man advantage. So just like the same action we saw down here at the Metro State end on the power play, a couple of second chance opportunities here for the Roadrunners. And Jackson Carlitz doing a good job of keeping this a 2-goal game. So the faceoff coming to the right side of Carlitz. Draw one by Metro State. Ranhorst. There's a shot from the point by Peterson that takes a deflection and sent back into the Metro State end with 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Here's Tillinghast. Brings the puck into the zone. Taking it around the net, looking to throw it back towards the front. The puck was loose there for a second, but now it's sent back into the Roadrunners' end with 10 seconds now remaining on the Van Arm minor penalty. Loeffler plays it back behind the net. Slid up ahead for Tillinghast. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Slid over, Peterson shot, saved at the last second by Carlitz. And coming out of the net to cover it up is Jackson Carlitz with 8:56 remaining in the second period. So DU does a good job there on the penalty kill to keep this game 2-0. They'll have to find some offense here, though, to get back into this game. Mirlovic to take the draw against Margolis. Advantage Margolis. Comes back to Bjorndal. Plays it along the near side for Van Arm, just too far for him, and we'll get an icing here as the far side official made that call. Not sure if I agree with him, but we also have a much different vantage point than he did. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Face-off coming back inside the DU zone. We'll do it again, except it's Van Arm versus Margolis. Draw one by DU. Taken by Navarro. Plays it up ahead for Bjorndal. Bjorndal, far side for Mirovic, stolen there by number 17 for this MSU team. Nearly a turnover there, but Gardner will get the puck back. Plays it up ahead for the neutral zone, taken here by Metro State. There's a turnover. Here comes Bjorndal. Bjorndal puts on the brakes, and he's chopped down there. Good neutral zone hit by Tomlin. Played back behind the net for Mirovic. Bjorndal first on the puck, plays it back to the blue line for Navarro. Fires it back to Bjorndal. He loses the puck. And now Tomlin will play it back to the blue line, kept in by Navarro. And now trying the other side here is Metro State. And Gorsuch does a good job to get it out of the zone. Stolen back by Gardner. Gardner has Van Arm along the near side boards. He finds two. Van Arm walks into the zone, fires the shot. Loeffler, easy save there with 7:47 remaining in the second period. And down goes one of the linesmen right in front of the net. Able to get up to his feet quickly. He's going to laugh it off along with his other partners in stripes there. He was hoping nobody saw it, but we see everything here at Price Productions. Face-off coming to the left side of Loeffler. Draw one by DU, shot sent far. Clift will play it back into the neutral zone. Will go back into the DU end for an icing here. So another offensive zone face-off here for DU. Trying to get this game back to a one-goal game. Blake Bazin, Nolan Patrick, Henry Seebeck out there. Metro State wins the draw. Puck play back into the DU zone off a deflection, so the face-off I thought was going to come outside the zone. It will be sent back in to the Metro State end. We'll do it all over again. Face-off to the right side of Loeffler. Draw one by the Roadrunners. Taken by Piper. Plays it off the near side boards. Chopped down by Vena. Seebeck slides it over for Ben. He'll dump it back in around the net. Played by Loeffler. Loeffler nearly turns it over as the puck is played high along the glass and now taken back by Metro State. Kept in by Vena. Only for a second as he doesn't get enough on that shot. There's a big hit in the neutral zone. Piper walks in. Here's an opportunity. Oh, and just missing the net there was number 28, Brandhorst. Great opportunity to make this a 3-0 game, and he missed the mark by about a foot. Golden opportunity there for the Roadrunners to give them a 3-goal lead. But as it stands, the puck went out of play, so an offensive zone face-off here for the Roadrunners. To the left side of Karlitz. Draw one back to the blue line. Gardner will play it around the boards there, taken by Navarro. Puck played out of the DU zone. Now it's taken by Labuglio. He's hooked there by Kincaid, no call. Taken behind the net by Navarro. Throwing on the brakes, trying to avoid Tillinghast. He'll spin and play the puck along the near side boards. Looking for Anand, who chips it up ahead for Angus Kincaid. 2-on-1. Kincaid with Brophy. Kincaid shoots, and a last-second save there by Loeffler. It was a bouncing puck, and he did well to slow it down. And now back the other way comes Tristan McLeod. Good opportunity there for DU, but the story in this game has been the play of Patrick Loeffler. Puck played, glove down there by Labuglio. He'll play it back to his own blue line, slid over here and taken by Waldorf. Played up ahead for Tillinghast. Tillinghast plays it back for McLeod. Throws a puck towards the slot. Rose can't get a shot off. Karlitz out of his own net. Played back behind. Here's an opportunity. They score! Third goal of the game goes to McLeod. And the Roadrunners extend their lead with 5:50 to go in the second. Second chance opportunity is the difference in this one. As that puck came free in the slot there, and McLeod didn't have to do much to get the Roadrunners up 3-0 here. As DU calls their timeout with 5:50 remaining in the second period. Coach Hunter Scott having some stern words for his Pioneer team. While we have a second here, we are close to hitting our $10,000 goal as the DU men's club team is looking to raise money to benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund to raise awareness and funds for life-changing cancer research and treatment. As you can see on your screen, we have that QR code up there. Please click on it, donate, help this club team get to their $10,000 goal. As a little John Denver blasting here in Joy Burns Arena, the Pioneers need to find some offense here in this second period as they find themselves down 3-0. The Roadrunners have been all over the ice here in this third period as they lead with 5:50 remaining in the second. Here comes the puck back into the Roadrunner zone, taken by Bazin, thrown in front of the net for Mirovic. He can't get the shot off. Bazin, far side. Played back here along the near side boards, taken by Metro State, looking for their fourth, and the shot goes around the net. Played up ahead by Mirovic. Looking for Colston Bazin. It'll go back into the Metro State zone, icing here, 5:19 remaining in the second. So DU really trying here to stretch this play. Haven't done a great job in this contest of being able to chop down pucks in the neutral zone. As they've loved to do here in these last couple of games is really try to stretch this ice, catch teams blue line chipping in a little bit. They haven't been able to do so in this game, and they find themselves down 3. Bouncing puck saved there by Carlitz with 5:12 remaining. So they'll roll the lines here. Van Arum, Triplett, and Bjorndal out there. This is the goal-scoring line for DU, with Bjorndal and Van Arum on an absolute tear here over the last 5 games. You got to believe it's going to be 0 or 0-0 or 2 who gets the Pioneers on the board here first. Next goal has to be DU. A 4-0 lead seems insurmountable given the way the offense has been playing here for DU in this contest, as well as how well Loeffler's been playing for Metro State. Taken in by McLeod, slides over for Tillinghast. Tillinghast walks in, fires a shot. There's a good and necessary save there by Carlitz. Glove down here in the neutral zone by Hall. Sent back into the DU zone, taken by Changwalker. He's driven hard into the boards, and then cross-checked in the back there by Hall. The two exchange words right in front of us, played back behind the net, and that puck will be kept in by Changwalker. Puck thrown in front of the net. There's an easy save by Loeffler. Now it's taken by Hall behind the net. Looking to play it towards the middle. McLeod's got it. Plays it back to the neutral zone for Changwalker. Changwalker plays it up ahead for Van Arum, taken off the puck by McLeod, slides it over for Tillinghast, back for Labuglio, taken off the puck by Triplett. Now it'll be played back into the neutral zone, taken here by Van Arum. Here's Van Arum, walking in, fires a wrist shot, easy save again by Loeffler. Well, it's not necessarily an easy save, but he's been making every save look easy as we got some words being exchanged behind the net. It's Brandhorst and Van Arum still talking here. Both players will go off to their bench. No call made there. So we'll keep going with 5-on-5 hockey here in the second period. Face-off coming to the left side of Loeffler, and we have a face-off infraction. So we'll see who they toss here. And it's going to be Blake Bazin who will give way to Nolan Patrick. Draw one by DU, back to the blue line, sent in by Seebeck. Far side for Bazin. Kept in by Seebeck. Near side for Navarro, walks in, fires a shot, takes a deflection in front of the net, doesn't get through to Loeffler. Navarro will ring it around the net. Chipping in, here's Gardner. Kept in by Seebeck. Gardner spinning pass. Nobody there in white, so it comes back for Metro State. Glove down in the neutral zone by Navarro. Taken back by Metro State. It's 91. Waldorf, who will send it back in. Comes over to Navarro. 3:25 remaining in the second period. Up ahead, here's an opportunity. Patrick in on goal. Scores! DU gets their first with 3:17 to go in the second. And it's Nolan Patrick who brings the butts out of the seats here at Joy Burns Arena. The first goal of the game for the Pioneers as they now trail 3-1 with 3:17 remaining in the second. Patrick came right off the bench, skirted the blue line, stayed on sides, beat the 5-hole of Loeffler, and it's a 2-goal game here for the Pioneers. Simon fires it back into the Roadrunners' end. Loeffler plays it around his own net, kept in by Griffin Young. In the slot, Colston Bazin, he's chopped down there. And doing a good job is Mirovic to keep the puck into the zone. Here's 32 in white. He's chopped down behind the play. Fans want a call, and they're going to get one here as the Pioneers will go on a man advantage with 2:52 remaining in the second period. Feeling a little momentum shift here. And you'll really start to feel it if the Pioneers can get one back here on the man advantage. And it looks like Justin Siegel's going to go to the box for 2 minutes for the Roadrunners. So it's Colston Bazin, Mirlovic, Simon, Moen, and Van Arum out there for DU. Metro State has been nothing short of phenomenal on the penalty kill tonight. Let's see if they can do it again here. Draw one by the Pioneers. Played back to the neutral zone where Moen will have to retreat to play it. Near side boards for Simon. Sends it back into the Roadrunner zone for Mirovic. Taking it around the net. Far side corner. Plays it back for Van Arm. Van Arm has it now. Will play it back to the blue line. Check that in front of the net for Simon. Simon spinning within the far side corner. Plays it back to Van Arm. Van Arm bouncing puck. Can't settle it. Comes back to the neutral zone. Here's Moen. Brings the puck into the zone. Tommy Moen puts on the brakes. Nearly lose it. Now it comes free in front of the net. Bouncing puck taken by Simon. Run off the puck there by Tillinghast. Kept in by Mirovic. No shots on goal so far, and they're not going to get one here. Here comes Tillinghast. Tillinghast plays it towards the slot. There's a shot, goes wide. Great opportunity on the shorthanded there for Metro State. Puck goes back into the Roadrunners' end. Piper, slap shot around the boards. DU nearly caught with too many men on the ice. Taken by Changwalker. Up ahead for Simon. Throws it towards the slot. Patrick. Good save by Loeffler. Simon behind the net for Bjorndal. Looking to throw it towards the slot. Bjorndal has it again. Plays into the slot. Simon can't get the shot off. He's chopped down. Comes back to Changwalker. Back to the blue line. There's a shot. Puck loose. Oh, and nearly scoring there was Bjorndal. He missed the net by an inch. And the puck goes out of play with 23 seconds remaining on the man advantage. So both teams will roll the lines here. 1:15 remaining in the second period. Here's Blake Bazin with Patrick and Seebeck. Moen and Changwalker at the blue line. Draw one by DU. Comes back to Changwalker. Slides it over for Moen. Wrist shot from the point. Takes a deflection behind the net. Puck still loose. And now it comes out to the slot. And it'll be played back into the DU end by Margolis. 10 seconds remaining in the man advantage. 1 minute remaining here in the second period. Here's Changwalker, lot of speed, drive towards the front of the net, can't get the shot off, bouncing puck comes free in front of the net, and Loeffler will cover it up with 47 seconds remaining in the period. We'll play 5-on-5 hockey here as Metro State has done phenomenal again in killing off the man advantage. So the face-off coming up to the right side of Loeffler. Same line out there for DU. Draw one. Back towards the net. Loeffler will cover it up. 2 seconds go by there. Same thing. Face off. Right side of Loeffler. Draw one by the Pioneers. Seebeck's got it. Spinning within the far side corner. Throws it towards the slot. Takes a deflection off a Metro State defender stick. Puck in the near side corner. Here's Blake Bazin with it now, playing it towards the slot. Patrick went down, couldn't get the shot off. Navarro has it, plays it towards the slot, and a stick goes high into the air. Unsure as to whose that was, but a stick literally got 8 feet of air, and it looks like it's going to be Ethan Rose who goes to the box. So the Pioneers will have another man advantage here with 20 seconds remaining in the second period. I didn't see exactly what happened. The only thing I saw was a stick raining down from the ceiling. And I believe that stick belonged to Nolan Patrick. So Bryce Margolis getting an explanation here from the officials. As now the fans beginning to do a little sing-along here in Joy Burns Arena. Face off to the right side of Loeffler. Van Arm to take the draw. He wins it for DU. Colston Bazin has it. 15 seconds remaining. Van Arm from the blue line. Puck loose in front of the net. Loeffler will cover it up. And we'll get a stoppage with 11 seconds remaining. So if DU doesn't score here in the next 11 seconds, they will begin the third period with the man advantage. Face off to the right side of Lawther. Metro State will look to hold on here and kill the remaining 5 seconds. Doing a good job here. Puck comes free for Van Arm. Plays it towards the slot. Loose puck sent back into the DU zone. That's going to do it here for the second period. After 2, it's the Roadrunners 3. It's the Pioneers 1. DU gets 1 back in the final minutes there of the second period on the goal from Nolan Patrick. But the Roadrunners put 2 past Jackson Carlitz in this period and extend their lead to 2. We'll be back for the third period of action from Joy Burns Arena in just a moment. You're watching the Big Mountain Hockey Conference presented by Price Productions. Welcome back to Joy Burns Arena here on the campus of the University of Denver. We head to the third period between the Pioneers and the Roadrunners. Metro State currently on top over DU 3-1. They scored 2 in that period to extend their lead to 3-0 before Nolan Patrick, with just over 2.5 minutes remaining in the second, was able to get one back for the Pioneers. About a minute and 30 seconds before we are set to begin action, while we have a second of your time, I'm going to have my producer throw that QR code back on the screen here. This is a Hockey Fights Cancer game between DU and Metro State as a way to raise awareness for cancer research. Every dollar that is being collected today, both via the QR code, admissions, we've had some jersey raffles going off, are all in order to support the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund in order to raise awareness and funds for life-changing cancer research and treatment that was done for one of DU's own, Blake Bazin, who, as of last weekend, as we've said throughout the broadcast, told his teammates that he is cancer-free. So in celebration of Blake Bazin and his treatment that has gone successfully, we are here to broadcast this Hockey Fights Cancer game. We will show this QR code here until we drop the puck on this third period. The goal is $10,000, and I am told that we are getting close to that goal. So keep donating, keep sharing that QR code. It is on the DU Men's Club Hockey Instagram page, so share it around. Let's get to $10,000. Third period of action from Joy Burns Arena coming up in just a couple of seconds. So the team's making their way back out onto the ice here at a sold-out Joy Burns Arena. Not an open seat that I can see from our broadcast booth. Standing room only for the final home regular season game for the Pioneers as they make their way back onto the ice. They will have a minute and 41 seconds on the man advantage here to begin the third period. As everybody in hockey knows, there's no worse lead to have than a 2-goal lead. Metro State has showed no signs of slowing down in this contest. Patrick Loeffler has been unbelievable in net for the Roadrunners, and he looks to continue that into the third period. Jackson Carlitz finding a little stride there towards the end of the second period. Really having a little bit of trouble in this game, gathering those first opportunities and allowing Metro State to have those second and third chances, which is why they lead in this contest 3-1. He'll have to be perfect here in the third period if Denver wants to pull the comeback. Pioneers will be on the man advantage, 1:41. And they will roll out the power play unit of Colston, Bazin, Mirovic, Simon, Van Arum, and Tommy Moen. Players chopping their sticks. We're ready to begin the third period here from Joy Burns Arena, and we are underway as the draw is won by the Pioneers. Here's Willem Van Arm. Drops it off for Moen. Moen taking along the near side boards. Trying to fight his way all the way down to the Metro State zone. He takes it behind the net. Slides it back for Mirovic. Plays it behind the net for Simon. He's cross-checked hard behind the net. Taken back by Mirovic. Plays on towards the slot. Puck loose in front of the net. Comes loose from Moen. He doesn't know where the puck is. Kept in by Van Arum. Van Arum plays it back to the far side corner. Here's Simon with it. Puck still loose in that far side corner. Now will be played back out of play. So the faceoff will remain in the Metro State end with 1:02 remaining on the man advantage. Pioneers will keep the same line out there. Mirovic to take the draw, left side of Loeffler. And that draw is won all the way back into the Metro State bench. So we'll redo the faceoff there. 2 seconds somehow came off the clock there. Faceoff won by DU, but only for a second. Chipped up ahead there by number 9, Cooper Peterson. And it will go down for an icing. That's got to be an inadvertent whistle, as Metro State is on the penalty kill, so the faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone. Faceoff at center ice, as the linesman was unaware that the Pioneers were on a power play there. So it's an inadvertent whistle. Peterson versus Mirovic on the draw here at center ice. Draw won by the Pioneers, taken by Mirovic. He'll fire a shot, easy save by Loeffler, who will cover it up. So an offensive zone faceoff. We've played just 51 seconds here in this third period. Pioneers trail 3-1. Faceoff coming to the left side of Loeffler. Mirovic to take the draw for DU. Faceoff won by the Pioneers. Played over near side. Van Arm, slap shot, fires a shot. Redirects wide into that far side corner. Simon has it now. Plays it back to the blue line for Van Arm. Top of the circle, fires one towards the front of the net, and Loeffler will cover it up. 35 seconds remaining in the man advantage. DU will roll the line. Seebeck, Bazin, Patrick, the goal scorer for the Pioneers, and then Navarro and Gardner at the blue line. MSU has been phenomenal today on the penalty kill, as DU has gone 0 for 4 with a man advantage. As the puck comes back into the DU end, Carlitz will have to play it for Gardner. 25 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Comes out to the neutral zone for Seebeck. Along the near boards for Blake Bazin. Walks in, fires a wrist shot. That shot sails high and over the net. Kept in by Navarro. Puck loose. And now turning with it is number 91, Henry Waldorf, and he'll send it back into the DU end. And that's more than likely going to do it for this man advantage for the Pioneers. Puck comes to Blake Bazin. Bazin walks in the zone. Puts one on goal, takes a deflection to the far side boards. Labuglio working against one of the Pioneers. He'll be sent towards the front of Loeffler's net, and he'll cover it up with 18:09 remaining. Was speaking with a couple of the Metro State parents during that intermission. Labuglio, they say, has an interesting nickname. The Roadrunners call number 71 Labubu. That's the only time I'm going to bring that up on this broadcast. I hope he and his family don't hear that one. Face-off coming to the left side of Loeffler. Draw won by the Pioneers. Chang Walker slides it over to Moen. Wrist shot from the point. Loeffler with a save can't corral the rebound. It will be sent back into the Pioneers' end for an icing. So the face-off will come back into the Roadrunners' end. Face-off to the right side of Loeffler. Blake Bazin to take the draw. Face-off won by the Pioneers. There's a quick shot by Patrick, takes a deflection, comes back to Seebeck. Seebeck along the near side boards. Plays it back to the blue line for Moen. Wrist shot from the point, takes a deflection off the stick of Tillinghast into the near side corner. He's chopped down there by Seebeck. Behind the net for Bazin. He nearly goes down, and there's going to be another penalty upcoming here to Metro State. And they're going to get a hooking call here on the Roadrunners, so DU will have their 5th power play opportunity of the game with 17:36 remaining in the third period. We've only played 2:24 in this third frame. A lot of whistles, a lot of stoppages in play, and it looks like it's going to be Jaden Tomlin who's going to go to the box for Metro State. So just like that, another power play opportunity here for DU against this staunch penalty killing unit for Metro State. Face-off won by the Pioneers. Comes back to the blue line for Van Arm. Slides it over for Moen. Plays it over for Mirovic. Fires a shot, takes a deflection high and out of play, and we will never see that puck again as it landed on top of the roof here at Joy Burns Arena. So the face-off once again to the left side of Loeffler. Mirovic to take the draw for DU. Face-off won by the Pioneers. There's a quick shot by Simon and an easy save by Loeffler. Back to Simon. Puck in their skates, comes free for Colston Bazin, taking it around the net. Colston Bazin in the slot, wrist shot, takes a deflection, comes back to the blue line for Moen. Moen, Bazin. Far side, Mirovic. Back to Bazin. Walking in, wrist shot, fires a shot, easy save by Loeffler. There's a slap shot from the point, and another good save by Loeffler as he redirects it into the far side corner. Taken by Mirovic. Far side for Van Arm. Van Arm plays in front, looking for Simon, and the pass just too far out in front of him. Here's Mirovic. Plays it towards the slot. There's this opportunity. They score! Colston Bazin, power play goal, and DU is back within one with 16:39 to go in the third. There's the break the Pioneers needed to get back within striking distance. As a redirection in front of the net came loose to Colston Bazin. And the Pios are back within one. And let's hear how this building comes alive as the Pioneers rattle off two unanswered. And they're back within one here with 16:35 remaining in the third. Puck played up ahead for Angus Kincaid. Triplet, slap shot from the point, just wide of the net. Puck loose against the back of the cage there. Comes free here for the Roadrunners. Now it's taken here by Waldorf. Along the near side boards for Clift. Clift plays it high into the air. Navarro can't play it down. He's got it now in the far side corner. Back the other way come the Roadrunners. Stolen away by Rowan Anand. Spinning pass comes back to Clift. Wrist shot. Easy save by Karlitz with get a stoppage of play here with 16:07 remaining. Anand having some words with one of the Roadrunners players. So the face-off here coming to the left side of Jackson Karlitz. That was Colston Bazin's 11th goal of the season. Draw won by the Pioneers. Navarro loses it behind the net. Now it comes free for Gardner. Plays it up ahead for Bjorndal. Kept in at the blue line, but only for a second. Now walking in here is Metro State. Far side, there's a shot glove down in front of the net by Van Arm. Van Arm plays it out to the neutral zone. Played by Tafoya. Back into the DU zone, taken by Gardner. Gardner taken off the puck only for a second, sent back into the Metro State zone. Played by Loeffler. Kept into the blue line by Navarro. He'll play it back around the boards where it's taken by Bjorndal. Puck thrown high into the air, glove down for a second. Brophy loses it to Van Arm. Puck took a deflection out of play, no stoppage there. There's a big hit laid by Chris Brophy in that far side corner. Out to the blue line. Navarro's shot just directed wide. Here's Brophy with it. Top of the circle, wrist shot. Brophy again. Big hit laid there in the far side corner again by Brophy. As that puck is redirected to the near side corner, taken by Van Arm. Van Arm looking to play it towards the slot. Puck still loose. Played back for Van Arm, and now it's finally taken by Metro State and cleared up ahead by Waldorf. Puck kept into the blue line by Navarro, and now it comes straight for the neutral zone. Rosa looking to play it far side for Brandhorst. Brandhorst looking for it. Throws it in front of the net. Karlitz redirects it into the far side corner. And we're going to have a penalty upcoming here. This one's going to go against the Pioneers. We're going to have a tripping call here against DU. So Metro State will have a man advantage here for 2 minutes with 14:35 remaining in the third period. As some words are being exchanged between these close rivals, these two schools just separated by 10 miles in the Denver metropolitan area. So the Roadrunners will go on the power play. DU will have to kill off the man advantage here as they only trail by 1. And it looks like they're going to get Brophy, who's going to go to the box here. He'll serve the penalty for DU on the tripping call behind the net. Face-off coming to the right side of Karlitz. Draw one, back to Tillinghast. Slides it over for Cliff, top of the circle, wrist shot. Pad save there, puck loose in front of the net, and there's a good save again by Karlitz. Back for Clift at the blue line, slap shot, Tillinghast, his shot deflected wide of the net. Piper's got it. Over to Clift. Back to Piper. Looking towards the middle. Plays it back to the blue line for McLeod. McLeod in front of the net for Piper. Can't get the shot off. Puck loose in front of the net. It still is loose, and now it's finally played into the corner, and Kincaid will clear it into the neutral zone with 1:20 remaining in the man advantage. Here's Roadrunners quickly back into the zone. They thought they were offsides. Officials wave it off. Piper drilled hard into the boards by Seebeck. Puck played behind the net for Young, and he'll turn and fire it back into the Roadrunner end, where Loeffler will come out of his net to play it. Far side, Tillinghast. In the middle, Clift. Drops it off for Piper. Plays it back around the net for Jensen. Back to Piper. Nobody in the slot for Metro. Back to the blue line. Tillinghast nearly loses it. And now Young trying to get the puck out of the zone. Unsuccessful. And now Colston Bazin will turn and just fire it back into the Roadrunners' end. 35 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Played up ahead and taken by Peterson. Far side for Labuglio. Puck played in the slot and just redirected into the near side corner. Taken by Peterson. Slides it over for Tillinghast. Just too far. Puck will come out of the zone, and Metro State will have to regroup. Here's Jackson Tillinghast driving his way towards the front of the net. He loses an edge, and the puck will be played back into the Roadrunners' end with 8 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Peterson's got it. Looking to play it towards the middle. Comes near side boards for Tillinghast. Plays in the slot. Here's Metro State in on goal, and there's a good save by Karlitz. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Puck up ahead for Van Arm. Here's a 2-on-1. Van Arm with Brophy. Van Arm taking it far side in the slot for Brophy, and just too far for him. Now back the other way comes the Roadrunners. There's a shot from the corner that comes all the way back out in front of us here, and we get a stoppage of play as Bjorndal throws one of the Roadrunners players into the boards. I believe that was number 18, Frick. And we'll get another stoppage of play with the faceoff coming back inside the Metro State end. Are we going to have another penalty? I believe we are. Peterson's going to go to the box for Metro State. The fourth penalty of the period. The third against Metro State. So DU once again on a power play, trailing by 1. Face-off 1. There's a shot by Simon. Glove down in front of the net. Puck still loose. And now it'll be played back into the DU zone. There was a good opportunity. There's a broken stick on the ice. Simon's got it, turns it over. Played back in by McLeod off the skate of Moen. Tommy Moen up to Van Arum. McLeod goes down to the ice. Van Arum brings the puck into the zone. Throws on the brakes, now he'll take it, plays it back to the blue line for Moen, just too far. Moen has to chip it in, and he does, but only for a second. Comes back into the DU zone, and Karlitz will have to play it. Van Arum versus Tillinghast. Back to Moen. 1:20 remaining in the man advantage. Moen will play it back into the Metro State zone. Loeffler will play it behind his own net. And it'll be sent back into the DU zone with 11:16 remaining here in the third period. DU power play, 1 for 5 on the night. Here's Seebeck. He'll bring the puck into the zone, launches in along the near side corner. Bjorndal loses the race to the puck. There's a quick shot from the point by Patrick, redirected all the way to the far side, kept in by Changwalker. Changwalker, blue line, shot, puck loose in front of the net. And they score! Bjorndal ties it with 10:51 to go! Loeffler couldn't control the rebound. The Metro State bench is calling for a high stick on the play, but their prayers are going to fall on deaf ears as the Pioneers have scored 3 unanswered. It's 0-0, Cody Bjorndal, who ties it. Now the officials are going to gather here at the blue line to talk about the play. The scoreboard shows 3-3. The officials are talking it over to see if the Roadrunners are going to win their case here. And they're going to call it a goal. So after the discussion, the call on the ice stands. And it's 3-3. Pioneers have scored 3 unanswered. They have tied this game, and with 10:51 remaining, it's all tied up between the Roadrunners and the Pioneers. TJ McLeod having some words with the officials there along the far side boards. I believe what Metro State is arguing is that a kicking motion was made by Bjorndal, which put the puck in the back of the net. Obviously not allowed. We don't have any replay review here at Joy Burns Arena, so the call on the ice stands. We got a goal, and it's 3-3 between the Pioneers and the Roadrunners. As you can hear the Let's Go Pio chants, puck thrown in front of the net, taken by Seebeck. He'll turn and fire it towards the front of the net, redirected behind, chopped at by Bazin. Puck in the far side boards. Metro State reeling right now. There's a big hit laid there by Nolan Patrick. Seebeck will turn and fire it back into the Roadrunners' end. This is going to go down, played by Loeffler, negating the icing. And there's another big hit laid by Nolan Patrick. Cliff's got it. Sent back in by Triplett. Piper will go chase in after it. Working against Jimmy Triplett. Kept in by Angus Kincaid. Triplett in the corner. Metro State trying to get the puck out of their zone. It's Ronan Ann trying to kick it free. Comes back along the far side boards, now flipped into the neutral zone. Kept in there by Navarro. Far side boards Anand. Triplett, top of the circle, fires a shot, missing the net. Here's Navarro. He'll play one towards the front of the net. Kincaid chopped down. Anand shot, saved by Loeffler, and will slow things down with 9:34 remaining in the third. So good pressure this period by DU. They've been on the man advantage for the majority of this third period. And as I just look to the scoreboard to see how much time we have left, it's gone dark here at Joy Burns Arena. So obviously something will have to be fixed there. Looking at our monitor here, 9:33 remaining in the third period. They'll have to fix that clock. But DU trailed entering this third period by the score of 3-1. They've tied it up on the goals by Colson Bazin and Cody Bjorndal. You see on the screen now, there's that QR code again. We are asking for everybody to scan, share, and donate. All proceeds from today's game are going to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund to raise awareness and funds for life-changing cancer research and treatment. We are close to hitting our $10,000 goal for this game. If there's somebody in your phone book that you haven't shared that QR code with, text them. So the clock is still broken here at Joy Burns Arena. They're trying to get it fixed. Faceoff will be coming to the left side of Loeffler. We will try our best to keep up to the second, as the clock has now been reinstated here at Joy Burns Arena. Thank God, that was going to be some tough work for us. to be the single source of truth for time here without a clock in the arena. So 9:33 remaining here in the third period. Face-off won by the Roadrunners. Far side corner, Van Arum. Two and White still has it. Looking towards the slot. Plays it over to the far side, kept in by Moen. Wrist shot from the blue line. Bouncing puck saved by Loeffler. Taken by Van Arum again. Looking towards the near side boards. Nobody there. Kept in by Moen. Behind the net for Bjorndal. Bjorndal, he stood up and the puck is thrown into the slot. Nobody in White there. And now back comes Labuglio. Labuglio working against Moen. Turned back over. There's a big hit by Willem Van Arum on Labuglio, but he also chopped down Tommy Moen. Here's Brophy, 38 in White, fires it towards the front of the net, redirects high and off the glass. Puck still in play. Here's Brophy. He loses the puck as a big hit was laid there by Labuglio on Bjorndal. Puck free in the neutral zone, taken by Tillinghast, run to the boards by Changwalker, thrown back into the DU zone, and Gardner will play it along the far side boards for Mirovic. Here's 32 in White, walking in, making his way in on goal. Oh, and his shot just goes wide. Nearly an incredible play by Mirovic to give the Pioneers the lead, but he just missed the shot at the last second. So now Changwalker in his own zone, kept in by Peterson. His shot ricochets wide of the net. Shipped up ahead towards the blue line. Kept in there by 19 Tafoya. His shot blocked by Mirovic. Comes back to Tafoya. Back to Mirovic. Weaving his way in front of the goal. Dangerous move there and chipped up ahead by Colston Bazin. Simon will chase after it. Tafoya's got it, working against Simon. Tafoya plays it back behind the net for Brandhorst. Brandhorst whiffs on the pass, allows enough time for Bazin to get back there, but now it's played up ahead. Peterson taking off the puck there by Blake Bazin, and we're going to get a penalty upcoming here, a tripping going against Bazin, and he can't believe it, neither can the DU bench. So a penalty going against Blake Bazin here. So with 7:38 remaining in the third period, the Roadrunners are going on the man advantage. So penalty killing unit out there for DU, Seebeck, Young, Kincaid, and Ben. Power play unit out there for the Roadrunners. Comes to Clift at the top of the circle, slides it back, Tillinghast in the slot, fires the shot, saved by Karlitz. Karlitz is going to have to be perfect on this power play to keep this game all tied at 3. Face-off coming to the left side of Karlitz. McLeod wins the draw for the Roadrunners. Back to the blue line, slid over for Clift. Clift loses the puck to Seebeck, who will send it back into the Metro State end and kill some more time off this man advantage. Here comes Metro State. It's Clift. Thrown off the pads of Seebeck. Seebeck will play it into the Roadrunner zone, looking to kill some time. Battling along the near side borders. Great job here by 24 in White as he's chopped down. Metro State can retreat. Dropping it back too far for McLeod. Puck loose in the slot. There's a shot by Piper that sails over the net. Taken behind the net. Over for McLeod. Near side blue line for Clift. Slides it over for Tillinghast. Back to Clift. Clift looking to play it towards the slot. Now he'll spin with it. Near side corner, plays it behind the net for Piper. Back to the blue line. Kept in by Jensen. Jensen looking to play it towards the slot. Glove down by Tillinghast. Tillinghast plays it over for Clift. Walks in, fires a shot, hit the post! And just comes out to the far side corner. Taken by Jensen. Back for McLeod. Clift chipping in. McLeod spins with it. Back to Tillinghast at the blue line. Slides it over for McLeod. Pass just too far. Now it's a race to the puck, and it's won by Piper. Back to McLeod. And the puck will be ricocheted off the skates of Seebeck and back into the neutral zone with 20 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Here comes Jackson Tillinghast. Walking in, firing a shot. And saved by Karlitz. And redirected out of play for a stoppage with 5:56 remaining in the third period, 18 seconds remaining on the man advantage. DU getting this game all tied up. Goals by Colston Bazin and Cody Bjorndal. Metro State with a golden opportunity here to take the lead late in this third period. Puck comes out to Chang Walker. He'll fire it off the boards and back into the Metro State end with 10 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Loeffler plays it behind his net. That's going to do it for the man advantage as streaking up ahead is Peterson. He's laid it too hard by Chang Walker. Puck loose in front of the net. And now it comes loose to Simon. He'll play it high into the air. Now it's a foot race. Here comes Chang Walker in on goal. He's slammed onto the ice. His helmet falls off, and we're going to get a stoppage of play. What a hit, sounding like a car crash. As Chang Walker skates off with his helmet in hand. Faceoff will come outside of the zone. What a collision. Chang Walker will go off the ice as his helmet is going to have to be repaired. So the faceoff just outside the Metro State zone near that Roadrunner bench. Faceoff won by the Pioneers, back to Gardner. Slides it over for Navarro. Plays it up ahead for Colston Bazin. Plays it towards the slot for Mirovic, and Loeffler will cover it up with 5:16 remaining. Taking a look at that Pioneer bench just to see if Chang Walker was able to get his helmet fixed. It looks like he was. He's got that thing buckled up. And we'll return to the ice here shortly. Faceoff won by the Roadrunners. Kept in by DU, by Navarro. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. DU will have to tag up. Simon does that. Puck played towards the slot, knocked down by Simon. Played up ahead here by Metro State, taken into the zone by Siegel. He'll fire a shot that's redirected to the far side corner. Played back to the blue line. There's a shot from the point, redirected in front of the net. Karlitz didn't see it, but now he'll cover it up with 4:46 remaining in the third period. Faceoff will be coming to the right side of Karlitz. Clift line out there for Metro State. Van Arum line out there for DU. 3-3 tied in the third period. And we're going to find out here in this final 4:46 who wants it more. Shot takes a deflection from the top of the circle out of play, and we'll get another stoppage here. This Metro State team was in action last night playing Wyoming. They won 9-4. Oozing with confidence as they come into this contest, looking to avenge that October 24th loss to the Pioneers. Puck played along the near side corner. Cliff the first one in it, dealing with Ben. Van Arm working hard to try to get that puck out. It comes loose to Piper. He'll play it along the far side corner, taken by Young. He'll turn and fire it along the high glass, kicked in by Piper. Good job there by number 4 in blue. Brophy plays along the near side. Taken by Bjorndal, walks in, fires the shot. Glove saved by Loeffler. Flashing the leather, and Robin 0-0 of his second goal of the period. And this game getting a little chippy here in the final moments of the third period. Hard-fought game between both teams. Metro State jumped out to an early 1-0 lead before tacking on 2 more in the second period. Since then, it's been all Pioneers who've routed off 3 straight goals. Patrick, Bazin, Bjorndal able to get this game tied for the Pioneers. Face-off coming to the left side of Loeffler. Draw won by the Roadrunners. McLeod will shovel it toward the near side corner for Labuglio. Kept in by Moen. Puck played around the net. Moen loses a stick. Bjorndal looking to play it to the corner for Van Arum. Chipping in there is Chang Walker. He keeps it in the zone, but just for a second comes out to the neutral zone. Brophy will play it back in. Taken behind the net by Metro State. Here's a turnover. Brophy walks in, fires a shot. Saved by Loeffler. Kept in by Moen. Around the net for Bjorndal. Bouncing puck, he can't settle it, so it comes free for Tomlin. Kept in by Brophy. Turned back over for Metro State. Here comes TJ McLeod, the captain of this Roadrunner team. Plays the puck into the Metro State zone. Drives Chang Walker into the boards. Blake Bazin back onto the ice, will play it back into the DU zone. Moen will retreat to grab it. Plays it along the near side boards for Nolan Patrick. Patrick with Blake Bazin and Seebeck. Played into the far side corner for Seebeck. He's driven hard into the boards with a hit from behind. Should have been a penalty called. Instead, we'll get an icing here. There was a couple of things wrong with that play. For starters, I believe the Metro State defender left his feet. And I believe the officials are going to say that the hit came from the shoulder, and I could see how that would be the case from here. So no penalty, 2:57 remaining in the third period. Face-off one, back by Metro. Played up ahead. Brandhorst plays it towards the far side corner, taken by Seebeck. Seebeck playing it up for Blake Bazin. Here's Blake Bazin walking to the zone, trying to make one-man miss. There's a shot thrown in front of the net, takes a deflection over the net, and now will be played back behind the net for Metro State with 2:35 remaining. Played into the neutral zone for Peterson. Peterson's got Rose with him. He's taken off the puck, and now back the other way comes Seebeck. Seebeck over to Blake Bazin. Bazin, top of the circle. Plays it towards the slot. There's a shot, they score! Gardner, with 2:20 to go, gives the Pioneers the lead! Jack Gardner from Washington, D.C. A slap shot from the blue line, and the Pios have scored 4 unanswered to take the lead. And the assist there goes to Blake Bazin. What a comeback by this DU squad. They got 2:20 to try to walk out of here with a win in their final regular season game at Joy Burns Arena. Metro State can score quickly. We've seen it the whole game. Puck played towards the middle. Taken in by the Roadrunners. Puck loose in front of the net. It comes loose to Simon. Simon will play it off the boards. Good job by Tillinghast to keep it in the zone. Tillinghast fires a shot that takes a deflection off the stick of Simon. And now Mirovic trying to get it out. He does. Comes out to the neutral zone. Played along the far side boards for Piper. Piper whiffs on the pass. Now it comes to Tillinghast. Play into the middle. Back into the DU zone. Chang Walker wins the race to the puck. He'll play it back and it will go out of play with 1:35 remaining in the third period. So the face-off coming up here to the right side of Carlitz. Draw one by the Roadrunners, back to the blue line. Slides it over for Brandhorst. Played along the near side boards. Navarro will turn and fire it out as Tillinghast try to whack it back into the zone. Back into the Roadrunners' end. Brandhorst has it now. 1:15 remaining here in the third period. Here comes Jackson Tillinghast. Brings the puck into the zone for the Roadrunners. Takes it along the far side boards, and he's hit hard there by Navarro. Kept into the blue line by Labuglio. He'll play it around the net. It's stolen there by Gardner. Gardner plays it up. Labuglio keeps it in. Here's an empty net opportunity. Seebeck's shot is sailed high into the air and gloved down, but it's bouncing towards the goal, and a last-second save there by Jensen. 47 seconds to go. Here's Labuglio for Metro State. Brings the puck into the zone. 6 attackers on for Metro State as they pulled Loeffler. Back behind the net for Bazin. They battle away for the puck. DU killing some time here with 30 seconds to go. Puck still behind the net there. Nobody can get it free. Good job here by DU. You wonder if the officials are going to blow it dead. 24 seconds now remaining in the third. Puck still stuck behind the bench. DU's killed 30 seconds here. Now it comes free back out to the neutral zone. It will go all the way back into the Metro State end, and chasing after it is Waldorf, and we'll have an icing here with 11 seconds to go. What a job there in the final moments for DU to kill 30 seconds off behind the net. Face-off coming to the right side of Carlitz. TJ McLeod will take the draw for Metro State against Van Arum. Face-off one There's a shot, sails high and over the net, so the faceoff will remain in the DU zone with 7 seconds remaining. They'll bring Piper back onto the ice in exchange for Waldorf. McLeod to take the draw to the right side of Carlitz. Face-off won by DU. Back behind the net, puck thrown towards the slot, sent back to the blue line. Piper, one more chance, fires a shot. Shot goes wide. Pioneers win it! What a win for DU as they come back down 3-0 in this contest to knock off Metro State for the second time this season. Jack Gardner, the hero at Joy Burns on this beautiful, cold Saturday afternoon at DU. An emotional game for the Pioneers ends in a victory as they knock off Metro State. Hugs all around for this DU fan base. These two teams will be back in action tomorrow to close out the regular season at the Promenade. You can catch that game on Price Productions YouTube channel. But that's gonna do it for us here from Joy Burns Arena. For Price Productions, I'm Ben Canvasser, doing both camera and producing. Douglas Sheffield. That's gonna do it. So long. Pios win 4-3.